Good morning. Once again, if you are in the afternoon already, good afternoon. And then those who are about to sleep, have a nice rest. Uh, I've come once again. I've come to talk to my people, and I will believe that there are reasons why we come up and we talk about issues. Today, if you are aware, you will see that something is being celebrated, especially among the Christian communities or those who are being influenced by Western culture. Of course, what they call the All Saints Day. Now, you see, the problem we have as a people is that we always get ourselves engaged in things we don't understand the spiritual formation. Now, many of you are celebrating these All Saints Days, especially those who are in the Christian circle. You see, I'm going to disappoint you because you don't know what you're celebrating. They tell you that they're celebrating all the saints that have died. Now, what I want you to do is this. If you know somebody, or if you have a friend or a brother or a sister or a relation that lives in any of these Western countries, call them on the phone and ask them, what are they observing today? I mean, what is the movement of the people, especially the people of Europe? What are they doing today? Now, this is what they will tell you. They will tell you that today, a lot of them go to the graves of their dead ones to go and clean the graves and keep it clean. Now, what has it got to do with the saints they told you about? What has it got to do with those that they are claiming that we are saints who died in the Bible or the saints that died? No, let me tell you what they are celebrating. This is a day they honor their ancestors, but they told you to reject your own ancestors. They told you to forbid and bind and cast away your own ancestors. But today they celebrate their ancestors. And you know, funny a thing, you celebrate these same ancestors with them. You join them and celebrate their ancestors. But you yourself, you are being compared by means of brainwashing you that you should cast away your own ancestors. You should bind your own ancestors. You should separate yourself from your own ancestors. Today, what do they do? The All Saints Day is a day that they go to their graves, the graves of their dead ones, their fathers, their mothers, their grandfathers. They go and honor them, clean the grave, keep it clean. Now, go and ask yourself, if a man wants to do remembrance of the father or the mother, you see that the grave is being kept clean. What they do in this day, at this particular time, is to honor their ancestors, and that is why it's done collectively. But you are part of that celebration. You celebrate their ancestors with them. I have nothing against them celebrating their ancestors. But my problem is that your mind has been conditioned in a way that you yourself dishonor your own ancestors. You do not celebrate them. You despise them because they've told you that your ancestors are full of evil. But today you are joining them to celebrate their own ancestors, whom you do not know and who we know that is record and there is evidence that they committed more atrocity than any other ancestors in the world today. So the question I'm asking you is that, you see, the problem we have is that there are so many things we celebrate, so many things we get ourselves involved, but we don't really look deep or find out what the meaning of that celebration is. We see ourselves participating fully, even more than those that have the celebration. Today, people are enjoying the benefit of a public holiday. Now, fine, but it's not everybody that is enjoying. I mean, that is celebrating because it's a public holiday. People are actually celebrating All Saints Days. If you go to Africa now, in certain places, in certain communities, in certain churches, they have programs that commemorate this particular day, programs that support or celebrate this particular day. And the people are following sheepishly. They don't even know. And the worst part is that most of these pastors don't even know what All Saints is. They will try to explain it in line with that Bible, that book they have that is called the Bible. They will tell you, they will try to prove to you that these are people that did good things and great things. No. What the Europeans or what the West, let me use the word West because I know that it's also happening both in North and both in South America. Now, what the West is doing today is a day that they remember their dead ones. They remember their dead ones. You don't have to be a saint or you don't have to be righteous for you to be remembered today. Everybody remembers his or her father, grandfather, great grandfather. They go to their grave and they clean their grave. This is the day that they visit the graveyard. They drop flowers and they change flowers. But we are celebrating this nonsense with them, calling it All Saints. What is All Saints about it? But you have been conditioned to think that you cannot honor your own ancestors. You tend to avoid anything that has to do with your ancestors, but you are celebrating the European ancestors. Go to Africa. I don't. There's any place in Africa that this All Saints Day is not being celebrated, but they don't know the meaning of it. Those who are living in Europe or those who live in America will tell you that today they visit the graves. Now, if actually it is a celebration of the so-called saints, what has it got to do with graveyard? It is about their dead ones. These people practically worship dead people, but it has nothing to do with me. That is not my interest. My interest is that if you can foolishly, if you can, without reasoning, follow them and celebrate their own ancestors, what stops you from celebrating your own ancestor? Why is it that you despise what relates to you, what concerns you, what you despise your own, that which is yours? You are ashamed to be associated with what is yours. Why is it so? That is the problem, and that is why they will never respect you, because you hold these people very high to an extent that you yourself, you have seen yourself as nothing. Your ancestors is I mean, as they deem their own ancestors important, your own should also even be more important to you. What the honor that is attributed to ancestors should be your concern. That is why they have made it an international holiday, an international celebration. People talk about All Saints. What is All Saints? Who are these All Saints? They are talking about their ancestors, nothing more. And you see yourself jumping up, celebrating their dead ones. Who is celebrating yours? The only thing they did for you was to come and kill your own ancestors. They came and destroyed your own people. But see, yet you are celebrating their own people. I'm not saying that we should take up arms and do. No, it's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that let us understand that most of the things that were introduced to us, especially this particular thing, is in a way or two to bring ourselves down, to belittle ourselves, and to honor them. Because the moment you lift them up, it's like when you are celebrating a man's surname, and then you are also insulting your own surname. You are telling people that you are worth nothing. The whole world is celebrating today. What are they celebrating? The ancestors of the West, the men and women that lived and died in the Western culture. This is the all sense for you. It has nothing to do with your so-called religion. It has nothing to do with it. It's all about the rituals they do in honor to their dead ones. The ritual they do in honor to honor their ancestors. And this is something that many of you don't even know. You don't understand it, but you participate fully. They will preach to you in your churches, especially those of you who are in most of these big churches, Anglican, Catholic. They will tell you that today is All Saints Day, and you see women. They will light candles. They will come out. You are coming out to pray to who? To an European dead man or an European dead woman. To pray to who? To pray to a white dead person. What these men are not telling you is that they just follow most of these events to keep your mind occupied on things that makes no meaning, so that you will not be able to reason and understand actually who you are. You see, the problem is that we as Africans, we are lost. We are lost. We've lost our mind. And that is why we can never see clearly. We can never see reasons into certain issues. And I am grateful to our ancestors for this day, that he has raised men and women that will always blow the trumpet, that will always blow the alarm. There is nothing all sense about. Anyway, I don't want to go into the word sense because it's an English word. It has nothing to do with me. But let me tell you something. All I know is that there is nothing about this day that concerns you. It has nothing to do with you. And it has nothing to do with people who are righteous. It has nothing to do with people who died living a good life. It has nothing to do with people. It has nothing to do with you totally. You should exempt yourself from it. When I spoke to people concerning the ember months, and I told them to remove themselves from the Roman calendar, when I said it, a lot of people criticized me. But today, those who have done exactly what I told them, that have removed themselves, they see that most of the things that happened to them during that stupid ember canting has never occurred. They see themselves living a life of freedom. They are no longer engulfed in fear. They passed through. We are deep into their ember sheet, and we are about to come out of it. So it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Just like today, you cannot get yourself involved. How can you be celebrating somebody's death, and when you've not celebrated your own death, when you've not honored those who have died around you, those who have died, fighting to give you life, those that gave you life, you didn't celebrate them. You are celebrating another man or another woman's grandparents. So we need to ask ourselves questions. You see, we as Africans will be living a careless life, and that is why these people have really, really, really dealt with us, because we've given them the impression that we do not understand who we are, and we have no interest in understanding who we are. This is the impression we've given to them. And let me tell you something: if you don't place value on yourself and what you have, people will not value it. We can cry as much as we want. We can shout as much as we want. These people are not ready to respect us. They will not, until we ourselves begin to recognize ourselves and honor ourselves and give honor to our lives where honor is necessary. They will never respect us. And that is where we still come to. We still maintain that we have to build back our spiritual life, because that is what will allow us to understand the value of the life that we have, who we are. Because if we don't have an idea of who we are, we can never we can never get to where we are going to. The fact still remains that we need to reconstruct the spiritual foundation that was laid by our ancestors. There was a time we were the envy of the world. There was a time everybody was looking up to us just because of what we had, the anchor, the spiritual anchor that we were anchored on. And it gave us that age. But when these people systematically destroyed that foundation, that spiritual foundation, by programming our mind to reject and forbid it, so they were able to really penetrate into us. If you notice, you will see that they've not been able to do much, but all they have done is to make sure that we don't rise again. So it looks as if they are doing well. They've not been able to do much. They've not been able to do much. If you research deep into things, you will see that most of these things that are being done, that most of these marvelous things, especially even in the area of technology, see that it is our own sons and daughters that are doing it. But under under the supervision of these particular people, because they are taking the credit. Go and check. You will see behind everything that is successfully done, behind every invention, behind everything that is successfully pushed out, you will see your brother, you will see your sister at the full front of it. But they may not give them the credit. That is to tell that we still have that age. But what they have done is that we will not be able to rise as a people. We will not be able to come together and rise as a people. We may progress individually. And for us to rise as a people, we need to get back to our spiritual anchor. We need to stand on that spiritual foundation that was laid for us. Because what the spiritual foundation does is that it binds you as a people. It gives you the strength, and that is why they are compelling you, directly or indirectly. And it is working for them. They are compelling you to follow them in their spiritual beats, in their spiritual rituals, in their spiritual celebrations. And you yourself, you are participating, because the more you do it, the more you give them power over you. Because to whom you yield to that you become slave to. It's as simple as that. There's no two ways about it. It's not about making mad. It's not about making noise. Once you submit your spirit to certain things, and that is where it is that is why I told people, if you take away your mind and your faith and your belief from the the so-called ember month, or from the Roman calendar, nothing. It doesn't matter what it is that normally occurs in those months. It will not have any effect on you. And those that really practice what I told them, those that followed it religiously or shavishly, they've seen the result, and in fact, many of them have written me to really show their appreciation, even though we've not really crossed the season, but they have seen the result. So it doesn't. What it takes for you to really get out of what is holding you is for you to build a mindset, make up your mind and decide it in your mind that I am no longer going to get myself involved in this. And once you have said it in your mind, spiritually you've removed yourself. It does not matter even if they are doing it around you physically, but spiritually your mind is out of it, and it will have little or less effect on you. Then you see gradually you physically you withdraw from it, and that is what it is. It's as simple as that. So the question I keep asking myself is this: why is it that these so-called spiritual leaders know these things and they don't really want to tell these people? If you look at the whole history, if you look at the whole story, you see that something is not right. There is something fishy about our spiritual leaders. There is something fishy about them. I'm not talking about the white man now, because most of these things they know them. They know that most of these things are the result they are producing is on the negative side. The influence they have over our people is negative influence. But they allow these things to be. I ask myself, I say, why? Even some of them that claim or that preach that and pretend as if they mean good. But if you look at it, most of the things they allow or they introduce the people to are things that are very detriment to those people and also to our life as a people generally. I keep asking myself, I say, why is it that Africans are engulfed in this kind of celebration? The way we rush into All Saints celebration, the way we do Christmas celebration, we don't even understand the meaning of these things. The way we do Easter celebration, and you don't ask yourself, each time these celebrations are coming up, people die in mass, people die in large numbers. We lose lives, we lose souls, but still yet our people are soaked in this celebration. They can't do without this celebration. They want to be part of it. They cannot wait to be part of it. So I keep asking myself, I say, what is wrong with us? What is actually wrong with us? Does it mean that we don't have people that can really think? Is that what it means, that we don't have people that can really sit down and think and say, what is all these things about? How can you jump into something you don't know? And the funny thing is that if this same African people, this same person travel from his village to another village and the village is celebrating something he or she does not understand, he or she will not participate. But the white man has brought something for you, and you are head healed over it. You've carried it with all your passion, all your passion. You don't know what it is. You are celebrating it with everything that is in you. What is wrong with us? Many of them do not. If you ask them about all this, all Saints Day, they will tell you about Saint Peter. They will tell you about Saint Paul. They will tell you about Saint John. Leave these names alone. These people have duped us. How long shall we allow them to continue to dupe us with all these useless names that has no meaning, that doesn't mean a damn? It doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything in our life. It has no meaning. These people have really duped us. What is wrong with us? Why can't we reason for once? Somebody called me and said, All Saints Day. I told the person, I said, if you don't call my line again. I don't care who you are. Don't ever call my line again. What is wrong with you? If you want to be stupid on your own. Don't get me involved. How can you call me and be telling me All Saints Day? When have you ever called me and say and talked about my father that died? Have you ever asked me whether I've honored him? What is wrong with people? You will live your own. I'm not saying that other people shouldn't celebrate their own, but let us celebrate ours. What is wrong with us? Let us celebrate ours. This is why many of us have come up with the idea we are Jewish, we are Christians. Why is it that we cannot think as Africans? You can be a fool if you like. You can claim whatever you want to claim. But let me tell you something. It does not matter what you claim. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you are in US, whether you are in Africa, whether you are in Europe. As long as you have this color, my brother, you are nothing but an African. If you want to be a fool, be a fool. As long as you have this color, you are nothing but an African. You did not come from any place. You can deceive yourself and tell yourself lies. You can create the lies and create even false evidence to prove it. You are an African, and that is what you remain till you die. Even if you like, go and bleach your skin, you are an African. That is what you are. And the earlier it gets into your dirty, stupid head, the better for you. Stop deceiving yourself. Those who are wise have known that, and they have settled for that. What is this self-hate all about? You want to convince yourself that you are something that you are not. Is it not stupidity? What kind of madness is that? How can you convince yourself you are something that you are not? You are interested in every other religion, but African spirituality, no. You are interested in every other religion as long as it's something that is coming from Africa, no. And you think you are normal. That is what they call self-hate. Because you feel it's low self-esteem. You feel inferior. Everything that has to do with you or with your ancestors is inferior to that of foreign ideas, foreign ideologies. So that is why you accept foreign ideas. You accept foreign ideologies. You accept foreign religion. with all pleasure. But when it comes to something that has to do, that will identify you and expose your African heritage and or maybe take you back to your African root, no, no, you don't want to be Igbotic. Are you not a stupid Igbo man? If you're not Igbotic, if you're not an Igbo man, then what are you? I'm proudly Igbo. And even if when I speak, you will see it in my accent. I'm not ashamed of it. English is not my father's language. Where I would talk and I will hide my face is when I speak Igbo and I don't know how to speak Igbo. I am proudly an Igbo man. I don't want to change my accent. If you don't like it, jump out of the window. I am proudly an Igbo man. There is no Englishman that knows how to speak Igbo language. So I'm not ashamed of it. English is not my language. To hell with the language. I'm only using it because I want to communicate to most of you that do not understand Igbo language. So who cares about English language? The way I speak it is the way I speak Spanish. Is the way I speak German. Because for me, they are all foreign languages. And I also understand, in Africa, I speak Yoruba, I speak Hausa. And I know about 2 or 3 other African languages I also understand and speak little of them. But the main thing is this: I shouldn't. I shouldn't feel shy to speak. If I speak Spanish, you will see my Igbo accent. I'm an Igbo man. If I speak German, you will still see my Igbo accent. I'm an Igbo man. It can't get better than that. That is who I am, and I'm proud of it. So anything that does not speak Igbo is not part of me. For God's sake, we are Africans. We have to be Africans. How can somebody wake up and you are celebrating All Saints Day? Do you understand the meaning of what you are celebrating? Do you know the implications spiritually? Why are you dipping yourself into more shit? Your ancestors did it. Somebody will tell you that your father was that. Look at the life your father lived. He lived his life without fulfilling his destiny. You think that your father's destiny is just to give back to you? You think that your father's destiny is just to build a bungalow or even an upstairs in his village and then end up living a life of drinking pami and then dying? What destiny did your father fulfill? The man lived and died because they gave him instructions, they gave him information that limited him, that didn't allow him to understand who he is. He was born a Catholic, he died a Catholic. He didn't achieve anything because Catholic was not created to make the man see his full potential. Yet you want to die a Catholic. You want them to bury you the way they buried your father, with his destiny. When are we going to realize that these people have caged us in all ways? They have used everything that is at their reach to really cage us, to really put us down where they want us to be. And we are helping them with all these nonsense ideas, all these festivals that have little or nothing. And they tagged it. You see, the problem is that they tagged it into their religion. And as long as you've accepted that religion, you will participate in all those. If you come to Africa, especially the areas I know, you will see they say All Saints Cathedral. You ask yourself questions. I wouldn't have known it until I came to Europe and I see how these All Saints things are being celebrated. It's all about the dead ones. It have nothing to do with your people that died in Africa. It's all about the dead ones. This is ritual they do. It is a traditional thing. But that is to tell you that also the religion they brought to you is their own traditional way of worship. Why should you carry it as if it is the best thing that has ever happened to you? Why are we lost? What is wrong with us? I keep asking myself this question. Why is it that we cannot think straight? A woman just posted something. Before I came online, I was going through some of the things that people, posted, and then to see if I have any thing I need to respond to. I saw a woman that posted something. She posted her daughter and the granddaughter, celebrating Halloween. Say, I don't celebrate it, but let them celebrate it. Is that not madness? You don't celebrate it, and you are encouraging your daughter and her daughter to celebrate it. This is why we are lost as a people. This is why Africa is lost. Your father did not go to church, but he never stopped you from going to church. You see what he has done to you? As a father, he is supposed to know what is good for his family. A father is not only one that brings food and put food on the table. A father is one too that gives his children food for thought. And this is what many of our fathers never did. Because the fact that they couldn't fight the battle, maybe they couldn't fight the emotions of their wives. But that is not, you are the man of the house. You stamp your feet. You make sure that your family follow the right path. It may not be easy. Nobody says it's going to be easy. Some women are difficult to handle. But at the end of the day, you will handle her. She will see reasons for you with you. She may battle you for some time, but she's going to succumb because at times they are carried away. Women are driven by security and fear. You don't blame them. So when the church came, the church offered, it's like as if the church pretended and lied to them and gave them the false impression that they offered those things to them. So that was why many women find it very easy to run into it, because it was like as if it was a consoling platform that when they get there, maybe most of their burdens will be lifted off their shoulder. But that is fake. Everything was really stage managed, and the women never knew. But it was the men's job to stand against it, to stand up to it. And today now we still have men who are shrinking away for one reason or the other. They don't want to come out and say the truth. And what you are shrinking away from is you are avoiding a fight that your children will later fight. Why don't we fight this fight now that we have the opportunity, instead of we allowing that fight to get to the stage that our children will fight for it? That is what makes us men. That is what makes us fathers. It is our turn to fight. Let's push this lie. Let's push it out of our lives. Let us stand up as a people and push these lies away. It's killing us. Honestly, it's killing us. What is wrong with us? It's killing us. These lies are killing us. And we are allowing them because we don't want to offend certain people. Who told you that offending people will not be part of it? People will get offended. Let them get offended. Why should you give? Why should you care if somebody gets offended or not? As long as you are saying the truth. As long as what you are doing is for the betterment of the generation that is to come. If you want to get offended, fine and good. If she wants to get offended, fine and good. You say what you are supposed to say. But don't cover the truth. If you cover the truth, the price is not only you that will pay for it. The people coming behind us will pay a heavy price. What we are doing today is a fight that our fathers did not fight. And it is not good for us to pass it over onto our children. It is our turn to stand and fight for that fight. Let's do what our fathers didn't do. What is wrong with us? Everybody wants to keep our friends. We want to keep our circle. We want to. Is that why you are here on earth? To keep friends and keep circle. So you keep circulating. Is that why you are here on earth? You are here to do something. You are here for a purpose. You have a destiny. And you cannot fulfill your destiny living a life of hide and seek. You have to come out as a man. You have to come out bold. You have to come out as a woman. You have to come out bold and be who you are created to be. Be all that you are called to be. Do not look at faces. Do you know how many friends that walked away from me? Do you know how many people I lost that called me on the phone and said, you've lost my respect? Why? Because I walked away from the church. Because I refused to be a pastor again. Because I refused to be that bishop again. And you're here telling me rubbish. You don't want to offend anybody. Do you know how many people I've offended? Do you know those that called me and said God will be? I said, that's your God. Let him go, and in fact, that place, let him disappear from the sky. I don't care. Because when you find out, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. Anything you are doing and there is no passion in it, that thing will not go far. I am crazy about the truth, and anytime I know and I discover the truth, I carry it with all my head. I don't care what happens to me. I can't discover the truth, and because I don't want somebody to feel bad. I don't want somebody to count me as I'm not doing like this. No. I will say it. If we are using the same breakable plate to eat, let us break that plate so that everybody will go his way. But I have declared my stand from the beginning. I will say the truth because I know that even if you don't like me, even if you hate me, even if you despise me, that posterity and time will prove me right. And that is what I'm concerned about. That what would time say of me in time to come? Today we talk about people like Marcus Garvey. We talk about Bob Marley. You think if they had looked at people's faces, we would be talking about them? You think that if they had looked at other people's faces, today we'll be calling them the good names that we are calling them? There were many like them that existed in their own time that looked at other people's faces. They could not open their mouth and stand for the truth. They compromised. And that is why we are not talking about them, because with time, people got to know who they are. And their name were thrown into the trash bin. You want to be something, you want to be recognized, and then you are still hiding. You don't want to offend anybody. My dear, forget about it. You are not wired for this. If you are wired for what we are in, if you are wired for this, your spirit will not allow anybody to intimidate you. Your spirit will not allow any influence to intimidate you, because you have the power to speak out. What will it cost you to open your mouth and say the truth? The only thing we say, do not say lies. Don't say things you don't know. So that is why we encourage people, go and investigate, go and do researches. So that if you come out, you are saying it, and you are saying it with all boldness. I can comfortably tell you that there is no African that is from any place apart from Africa. How much more an Igbo man? There is no Igbo man that is a Jew. Anybody that is claiming to be a Jew, well, it maybe is a slave that escaped from Israel, maybe a black slave that escaped and came. Somehow we didn't know who he or she is, and then he was given land in Igbo land. I can comfortably tell you that there is no Africa that came outside the shores of Africa. But I can also tell you that many Europeans migrated out of Africa to where they settled. You don't come and tell us things. We are not in the dark ages where people don't have information. Then if you come up with one stupid book that was written with by one madman or one mad woman, then you just show me the book and then you say, look at it here. My friend, go and die if you don't have a life. You don't come and tell me that kind of a shit. If you're coming before us, you come before us with facts, and we have evidence, we have proofs. How can a mad king come out and be tagging the whole people nonsense because he wants to be nonsense? If you want to be nonsense, you become nonsense, no problem. We have nothing against it. But don't tag the whole people in it. We are not all the same. Some of us are reasonable enough to know where we come from. We know who we are. You are not the one to tell us who we are. We know who we are. We understand who we are. So if you want to be nonsense, if you believe that you came from nonsense, fine and good. You came from nonsense, stay in nonsense. But don't tag everybody. I am an Igbo man. I came from Ajali Igbo. I was formed from the dust of Igbo land. That is where my ancestors came from. They were never strangers, and we will never be strangers in Igbo land. So you have your opinion. You can always come from anywhere you want to come from. I'm not disputing that. But me, myself, Onwem, I am a pure son of the soil, the Igbo soil. I am a son of the Igbo soil, the soil of Igbo land. I am a son of the soil. That Ajali Igbo, Aunwa Ajali Igbo. And I believe that every other African is a son of African soil. We did not come from any place apart from that place. Let us not create nonsense when it is not supposed to be. I don't care what your programs or your interest is. You can be what you want to be. It's a free world. But I don't want to be any other thing than what I am already. What I was born into. I was born to Igbo land. I was born as an Igbo. And I am 100 karat, or even possible 1,000 karat Igbo. And I'm proud of it. That is why when I speak English, you see my Igbo accent. When I speak German, you see my Igbo accent. If I speak Spanish, you see my Igbo accent. If I speak anything I speak, you will see that Igbo accent in it. Even when I speak Yoruba or Hausa, you see my Igbo accent. I'm proudly an Igbo man. And that is what I am. If you don't like it, well, that is your problem. It's not my own problem. I love it, and I love being Igbo. I mean, it couldn't have been better. If I'm to come back 20 or 30 times, I'll still be Igbo. Proudly one, proudly Igbo. So let's stop all this nonsense. Let's just stop it. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. Your opinion, fine. Keep your opinion to yourself. I am an Igbo man. And that is the way it stays with my children. That's the way it stays with my wife. Because that is us. We are Igbos. It doesn't matter where we find ourselves. Because the last thing a man that is sensible, it doesn't matter whether you are white or black, will do is to deny who you are. You can never see a white man that, even if he is living in Africa, that will tell you that he's an African. Then what is wrong with us Africans? The white man will tell you where he comes from. He will proudly tell you that I'm speaking this people's language. I am here, but I am from this place. They will say who they are proudly. Why? What is wrong with us black people? Each time you are looking for somebody to impress, and because of you want to impress somebody, you make certain utterances that will later haunt you or haunt your children in the future. I was not trained to live a fake life, and I have never been comfortable living one. Even though there were times I really tried, but I couldn't live a fake life. I could not. If I'm lying to you now, you will know, because it doesn't flow in my mouth. And so I don't want to do it, because I don't want to make a mockery of myself. So I try to stay at the lane where, so that tomorrow, if you wake me up, that same thing I say to you, I will say it because it's just the truth. Because if you lie now, they will wake you up tomorrow. You just wake up and you say something different. So I will tell you, say, this is what I know and this is the way I know it. So if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. So this is what I know. I will not add, I will not subtract. I remember when I met a friend, and he was really preaching, and then he invited me for us to visit a place. So we visited the place, and then this Jewish madness began. And really, I bought the idea, and I was in that idea for months, or close to a year. You understand? So, but when I finally find out that it's the same 10 and 10, I said, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? How can I sell a dog and go and buy a monkey when I'm avoiding something that's sport? It's still the same thing. A monkey does not stand straight. So why should I sell my dog to go and buy a monkey? It makes no meaning. And I cannot advise you to do the same. If you want to get rid of an animal that sports or that bends, you don't have to sell a dog to go and buy a monkey. It's still the same thing. It's still the same 10 and 10 pence. The same thing. There is no difference. The difference is in the name. An animal is an animal. So let us stop all this shit. Let us stop all this nonsense. Let us tell ourselves the truth. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. Let us stop deceiving ourselves and deceiving people. Let's be ourselves for once. You are afraid of being who you are because you don't want to lose certain contacts. You don't want to lose certain friends. You don't want people to really find out who you are. That means you are fake. If I'm around you, I will distance myself from you. Because who knows? Maybe you're not even showing me your true color. Why don't you be yourself and be who you are? What is the shame in accepting the fact that you are an Igbo man, or the shame accepting the fact that you are an African? What is it? What's so hard about it? I mean, if you now say to me you are African, your name you will no longer possess what you have. You will lose all your inheritance just for the fact that you admitted you are an African. I don't understand people at times. I really do not. Because if me accepting who I am offends you, then you have a problem with life. Get out of my sight. If me accepting who I am offends you, then get out of my sight. Because if you don't, I'll push you off. Doesn't make any sense. If you don't want to relate to me because of who I am, then I don't need you around me. It's as simple as that. There is no two ways about it. If you are ashamed of identifying yourself with me because of who I am, then my dear, go to hell. I mean, I don't believe that there is a place called hell, but then since it is what you people believe in, you are free to fly into there. because I am me and I will always be me. I don't care what you think. I will always be me. So, like I said, I am proudly an Igbo man. We remain an Igbo man. We remain an Igbo man because I was born Igbo by Igbo proud parents. I grew up in Igbo land. I was trained in Igbo land. I schooled in Igbo land. And that is why when I grew up, when I came of age, I decided to sit down and go back to school and study my Igbo life and my Igbo people in an Igbo way. I dropped every form of white man's education and went back to Igbo education and begin to re-educate myself because I knew that what they gave me was nonsense. I really wanted to know who I am and to know who my people are. And I am glad and happy that I did because it's paying off today. If not, I would have also been lost like many, thinking that I'm from where I'm not from, believing all the nonsense that people are putting into our head. But today, because I took out my time and went back and started educating myself on who I am, on who my people are, today I am very proud to stand and challenge any nonsense idea that is coming from any angle that this is not who I am. I know who I am. Because if you don't know who you are, people will tell you who you are. If you don't know who you are, so other people will tell you who you are. They will introduce to you who you are. They are the ones that will tell you who you are. So I'm glad I did go through that formation to inform myself properly of who I am. So I can stand today and tell you that I am not what you say I am. I am. This is who I am because I know who I am. And that is why what we are doing is to take what we have acquired that took us days, weeks, months, years to acquire and give it to you on this platform under 1 hour. If you don't appreciate it, you have a problem. If you do not appreciate it, you have a problem. If you have problem with it, that means you are your own problem. Because it's only a man that is sick that will be angry when he's being told the truth. Because in the Bible say, agwo omana omana, agwo ofeko fenye no he. It's as simple as that. So I am proud of who I am. I'm not ashamed of myself because when I look at the history of my people, when I look at where I come from, when I look at what they have been able to do in every era of life, I could not, I couldn't have wished any other thing better. This is a people I'm proud of. It's a history I want to associate myself with. It is a land I want to belong, both in life and in death. How can somebody come with the notion of me denying what has made me proud all my life? I am a proudly Igbo man. I'm with no apology. I will not be apologetic about it. I am proudly an Igbo man. I am Igbo to the core. To the core. Most people that lives in Lagos will know that Lagos is situated in a Yoruba land. Fine. But when I lived there, I paraded myself as an Igbo man. Even in the time of, there was a time of OPC issues. Many of them know me. That this is, they used to say to me, this man is an Igbo madman. Because if you say you're OPC, if you carry knife, I carry knife. I was parading who I am. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't ashamed of it. Even when there was a small clash, like that looks like we had a clash with OPC people, I was still moving around. They all know me. I am proudly an Igbo man. I have nothing against any other tribe. But what I'm trying to say that there is nothing like being an African. It doesn't have part two. It does not have part two. There is nothing like being an African. It is just, you see, it's complete. There is no part two about it. It is marvelous. It is wonderful. There is nothing like being an African. You can't beat it. It has no part two. It has no part two. Forget about what is happening around us. Forget about the way that our leaders are treating us. There is nothing like being an Africa, and to be an African is the best thing that can ever happen to you. Look at it. Let us be real about it. Look at us individually. You will see that we are very progressive people. Individually, we are very progressive people. That is why every African would rather find a way to survive than to die in shame. That is why you see us traveling to all these places. We have a small percentage of people, and unfortunately for us, these are people that are running the affairs of the continent. But that does not make all of us like them. That is why, my dear, you couldn't have wished anything better. You couldn't have wished anything better. Most of us that have actually traveled out, mingled with other species, will tell you that there is something special about being African. There is something special. Let us not, I don't want to go spiritually now. I want to say something that all of us can relate to. There is something special about being African. There is something special about being African. And we may not, you see, let me tell you something. It is difficult for us as a people to really settle for what I'm saying. But if you really, if you have really mingled with other people from different places, you will know that there is something special about being African. There is something special about being African. And when I realize the potentials that that comes with where I come from, I always celebrate my people. I always celebrate my people. I always celebrate my people. I celebrate my people. You see, it is only a fool that will always pump up the question of what are we all doing outside Igbo land, or what are we all doing outside Africa? These are questions that fools ask. Because when the Europeans came to Africa, they were all living, they were all hungry. They came to Africa to find a way to better the life of their people, and today they are enjoying that betterment. You see, the problem is that we have a lot of fools amongst us. You actually say, why are you in Europe? But he forgot that before these people conquered us, they came to our place. Before they are able to triumph, they are able to lift themselves up. They traveled, they went to America, they went to India. And when they now gathered all this wealth, now they built Europe, and they have the kind of Europe that they want to have. And a stupid African will be asking you, why are you in Africa? Why are you in Europe? Why are you not in Africa? That shows the level of your stupidity. That shows that you know nothing. You don't have any sense at all. Have you ever seen a people that progressed without traveling wide? That you traveled wide does not mean that you should reject and deny your heritage. This is why many of you are stupid. And that is why some of you will never learn, because each time they are talking to you and they are teaching you, you think you know it, but you know nothing. And when you speak, your stupidity shows in every comment you make. If you ask a man, why are you still in Europe? If you are talking, that shows how stupid you are. How gullible you are. That shows that you are stupid, because the white man that came and conquered you, he didn't conquer you from his village. You have to travel to his village to a place to conquer you. So why did he come to Africa at the first place? We never came to them first. They came to us. They provoked us. So we have to go back to them. It is a return match. So it's only a fool like you that will ask questions, say, why are we not in Igbo land? Or why are we not in Africa? That shows that you are stupid. Because if you are sensible, you won't be asking stupid questions. It is a stupid question indeed. So let us not do well with fools. Like I said, if you want to be a fool, you are free. You are free to be a fool. It is your choice. But don't get other people involved. That is when you now see people provoked, and they will start saying some things to you. But if you want to dance the dance of the fool, you are free. You are free. There is no problem about it. Dance your dance. Be the fool that you want to be. It's up to you. It's your choice. It's your space. But when you come to my space, don't make stupid comments. I will address you like a fool. If you make a foolish comment, I will address you like a fool. Because this place is meant for wise people. People who have acute, people who can reason, people who can think and process thought, people who can process information. and come out with something useful to do. That is what my space is meant for. So it's not for fools that comes here and then you ask me, why am I not in Igbo land? Why are we not in Igbo land? Are you stupid? Were we the first people that visited the Europeans? So you don't know your history. What kind of stupid person are you to ask such a stupid question? So what we are saying is very simple before the nomenclature interrupted. What I'm trying to say is that we as a people should, by all means, by every means, every opportunity possible, prove that we are proud of who we are and proud of our own heritage. Let's not separate ourselves from our true identity. It doesn't make any sense. Let's just separate ourselves from our true identity. It does not make any sense. Your life can never change if you as a person do not appreciate who you are. Because what you do not celebrate, what you don't honor, will never bless you. That is a spiritual principle I want you to take away. If you don't take away anything today, take away this. What you do not honor can never and will never bless you. So if you don't honor who you are, that which you are will never bless you. It's as simple as that. Let's not deceive ourselves. Whatever you do not honor will never bless you. Spiritually and physically, it is applicable. It's a principle, it's a law. When you honor something, that thing blesses you. So anything you honor will surely bless you. But whatever you do not honor as a person will never bless you. That is why it is important that we identify ourselves with what is ours, with who we are as a people. We must identify ourselves with what is ours. Who are we? We are Africans. For me, I am an Igbo man. A proud Igbo man. Igbo man to the core. To the core, to the core, to the root, to the root. To the village. Go to the village. Igbo tick. I am proudly an Igbo man. And Anamacho, a nonsense Igbo man, a no nonsense Igbo man. Anamach. I'm an Igbo man. To be precise. You know, man. One happen wow. Happen. Bere na ebere. Maka iwe no. Nwere ha na-akọ akọ. Ọ mpụta nkọwatu nga agọnarịkwa na Igbo mụrụ. Nwanne ahụ m onye Igbo. Igbo wu Igbo for that matter. Elijah Oba, after this program, I'm going to delete you and block you. I don't discuss people in my program. I'm talking about Igbo people here. So don't bring up any name. If you don't respect yourself, I'm going to delete you. Not only in this program, I'm going to block you. You will no longer participate in whatever I'm doing. Don't talk about anybody here. We are talking about Igbo. If you have problem with anybody, you settle it outside. Don't bring any name here. The only name that is on this program is Mazi Anyanwu. And I'm talking about Igbo people. I don't care what you believe or who your friends are. Please do not talk about anybody here. If you write any nonsense again, like I said, I will delete you, delete all the comments you made on this program, and I'm going to block you. I don't want your type on my program. Respect is reciprocal, and I expect you to respect me. This is my page. This is my space. I've never come to your page, not to talk of writing any nonsense. Don't come to my page and write nonsense. If you are here, it is a privilege, not your right. This is my space. If you want to unfriend me, you better do so, because I don't take shit from any idiot. Don't come here and write anybody's name. I don't care what your opinion is or what your feeling is. You can keep your opinion to yourself. I am speaking my mind. This is my space. This is my page. And I would like you to respect that, for me to respect you. Because if you insult yourself, I will insult you. Please. I don't want to know your age. It's not laughable. You don't write nonsense here. I don't care. I came out to talk when I want to talk. I owe you no explanation or anybody an explanation. If you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, find your way. Just press exit, walk away. That will be fine. Your respect will remain, my own will remain. But if you come here and write nonsense, I will insult you, I will delete you, and I will block you. I don't make friends with people that doesn't reason. I won't warn you again. I've taken note of your name. I will not warn you again. Respect yourself so that I will respect you. Please. I have not addressed you. I did not mention your name. I'm talking to my Igbo brothers. I have right to be an Igbo man. I have right to choose to be who I am. Please. That is all for now. So, my brothers, like I was saying, I am proud to be who I am. And as an Igbo person, I'm also proud to identify myself with my Igbo heritage, with my Igbo culture, with my Igbo belief, with my Igbo faith. I'm not saying that other African cultures are not good, but I expect a Yoruba man to identify himself with Yoruba culture. I expect an Hausa man to identify himself with an Hausa culture. Not for us to embrace foreign culture, something that they brought to us from somewhere that we don't even know, something that we don't know the head and the tail. I expect every African to go back to their tradition. I expect every African to embrace who they are. I'm saying I'm proudly an Igbo man because I'm an Igbo man. And I can't be any other thing than an Igbo person. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter what you front. You can label, you can bring any label you like. At the end of the day, I'm still Igbo. Very much Igbo. Very much Igbo. I'm simply an Igbo man. And of which I am proud to be. Something I'm 100% proud of. I love everything about myself and about my people. I love everything about myself and about my people. I am an Igbo man. So if you are not proud to be an African, if you have problem with that, that is your own take. But my dear, with what I know spiritually and how I come to understand that the world that we live in is a world that is embedded. There are two worlds, the physical and the spiritual world, they work together. I will never deny my Igbo heritage because I know the implications and I know the complications that it may bring because of those implications. Like I said, I've said it before and I will still say it again. Whatever you do not honor will never bless you. And funny a thing, the white man knows this. And that is why he is using every means possible to compel you to honor his own ancestors. And this is something that we ourselves have never given thought to. Why is it that it's important to him that you follow him to worship his ancestors? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why is it that he is using every means possible to lure you into joining him in celebrating his own ancestors? This is something that we have never asked ourselves. So there is a reason for it. Because he understands that whatever you honor blesses you. And that is the why they are more blessed than we are. Even in their trickish, crafty ways, they still remain blessed. Even in all the atrocities they have committed, they still remain blessed because their own ancestors is fully protecting them because they are not just the only ones celebrating their ancestors. They have compared the whole world to celebrate their ancestors with them. While your own is far folding their hands, watching you in pain, watching you celebrate someone's ancestor. Bothered about what you have become, what they have turned you into, how your mind has been focused on celebrating this people's ancestor. You see, so when you look at the way we are, the place we are, that what have become of us, you will now know why it is important that we, all of us, are crying and shouting that we need to come out of where we are. What that has done to us has sucked us. It has sucked us as a people. It has sucked us, and it is still sucking us to death. And that is why at times when I see some people talk, it gets to my head. It makes me angry because for how long must we carry must our people, be engulfed in the atmosphere of not being reasonable, not even seeing what is happening around them? How blind can we be? How worse can it get that a man does not even see what is placed before him? A man does not understand when he is being fooled. Even when the truth is dancing in your face, you are not still seeing it. It pisses me off. How long will it take you to really realize that these people, what is it? What is it that is pushing these people to come out and talk? Why are we talking? Why are we talking? Why didn't people say these things earlier before now? Why is that at this particular period that everybody is talking about it? It's because people are realizing it, and each time they hear a voice, they go back and do research, and they now come up with so many facts again. And the truth will blow their mind, and they will say, so for all this while I have been kept in bondage, and they will still want to share the same good news with their brothers. And those who are trying to share the news with, some of them, instead of relaxing and say, okay, this thing this guy have said, let me go and do research, they will still come up with those stupid ideas. You see them making some. If you don't know what to say, if you don't know what we are saying, why don't you shut up and listen? Do yourself a favor and keep quiet and listen. It will help you. It will do you a lot of good. It will make you to know more what you don't know. Instead of opening your mouth and start talking what you don't know because you want people to feel that you know something, when actually you do not have an idea of what you're talking about. You may have knowledge, you may have been to school, that is fine. But when it comes to the certain issues, it's not every issue that you know. If I want to talk about Aso Rock and I see somebody that lives in Aso Rock, I'll keep quiet and listen to the person. Because there are things he or she may know, which I don't know. It doesn't matter how small that person is. Because the person lives in Aso Rock. He understands what is happening there more than me. The only thing I know about Aso Rock is what I read, or what I hear in the news, or what I read in the papers. Or the rumors are here. But he is there. He has first-hand information of what is happening there. He sees more of what is occurring there than the people who are even writing it in the paper. So why should I not begin to argue with that fellow? The wisest thing for me to do at that particular point is to listen. And then maybe ask reasonable questions, not foolish questions. Because I cannot start asking the person, what kind of food does Mr. President eat? What good will it do me? It makes no sense. So what we are trying to say is that our people should be able to know that the time we are in now is a time for everybody to rise up, to wake up and stop doing those foolish things that we do, like the one that they're doing today, celebration of All Saints. And funny thing, many of you, even after listening to me, some of you will still go to church to celebrate it. And tomorrow you will say you don't worship idol, but you worship dead people. White dead people, you worship them, but you don't worship idol. So you don't know the meaning of worshiping idol. You don't know the meaning of worshiping demons. So where do you think that demons come from? Is it not from dead people? But you worship white dead people, but you don't worship idol. Why are we doing this to ourselves? What is wrong with us? Why are we like this? Why is it that we can't really sit down and reason? Honestly, every black man, what we want is what will set us free as a people, so that we can be who we are and be proud of ourselves. But let me tell you something, there is no place we as a people have respect from other species, from other race. Even in our own land, in Africa, you see them treat your people like shit, see them treat Africans like shit. It's because we gave room for that. And today we are still giving room for that by most of the choices that we are making, thinking that it doesn't matter. But it does really matter, because at the end of the day, it's really dealing with us. So how long shall we allow these things to encroach into our lives? How long shall we allow these things to manifest themselves in our lives? So it's annoying that at this time and age, that most of us are still thinking the way we are thinking. That most of us are still blind to the truth. Or is it because we choose to be blind to it, or actually we don't know, we don't understand the truth? So we the problem we have is that we have a generation. I don't know how to say it. We have a generation that the truth is dancing in their face, and they are not they're not even looking at it. They're not looking at it. How long will it take you to realize that the truth is right before you? That it's only you that have neglected that particular truth. And you think it's by accident that we are saying what we are saying in this time and age. You think it's by accident? Honestly, the only thing that attracts me to a man or to a woman is your ability to exhibit wisdom. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is not you having answers to all the questions. Wisdom is you questioning all the answers that you already know. That is what is called true wisdom. Questioning all the answers that you think you know. Everything that you've ever told, every conclusion that you have come to in life, is you questioning those conclusions. That is wisdom. Not you having answer to every question. It's you having question for every answer that is given to you. That is wisdom. And honestly, I do celebrate people with such wisdom. So how long shall we remain in this form? How long shall we be out of this um, box? Because it's something that we have put ourselves in. Somebody told me something some time ago. He was trying to tell me how the Indians, how they usually control elephants, especially these ones that use elephants for circles, that use elephant to entertain. The man said they will buy the elephant when the elephant is small, or they will get the elephant. Maybe they didn't buy it, but they will get an elephant at a tender age. Then they will tie an elephant rope on the neck and tie the rope to a stick, a very strong stick. So the elephant will try from time to time to pull out of the rope. The rope is tied to pull the stick. The stick is strong. So the elephant will be doing this, for some time. Then when he gets used to it and see that the rope can never be pulled, then the elephant will now relax his mind that there's no he can't go more than the circle that he has already been the distance he's already able to circulate. So he keep going that distance. So at the time they will now remove the rope and allow the elephant. The elephant will still be moving within that circle. So you see, the mind of the elephant has been controlled. And because of that mind control, the elephant has been used his own mind to draw a limit for himself. And then the elephant has seen himself in that box. So it doesn't matter what you do, even if you uproot that tree out, even if you clear that environment, the elephant will still be going around that same circle. Because the mind has been conditioned to circle in that particular to go to circle that particular distance, and the elephant will not go more than that. So when you actually you see them controlling the elephant, it's not because they used charm or they used spiritual means. No, it's because they've been able to condition the mind to accept certain conditions. And you see the elephant, as big as the elephant is, of which if the elephant gets angry, he can kill 20 of them at the same time. But the elephant will submit. The elephant will submit because the mind has been conditioned to reason in that form, and the elephant has no other thing than that particular thing, and that is why you see them controlling the elephant. And this is what is happening to our people, irrespective of the fact that we think we are intelligent, we think we are giant, we are this, we are that. The white man have set up structures that have kept you circulating yourself within the same circle he has drawn for you, and that is why whatever we are saying now is offensive to you. Because you are not seeing the importance of what we are saying. You are seeing that we are a hindrance to what you are term, in your own term, quote and unquote, what you term progress. Because that is one of the conditions that the white man has given to you. So what you term as progress, anybody that is saying contrary to it, it is the person becomes an enemy of progress, because you are timing that circle that the white man has drawn as progress. And that progress is what you yourself is fighting for. While we ourselves, we are fighting against that same progress. That is why many of you will tag certain people that have come to deliver you, give them names, insult them, because they are taking you out of your familiar comfort zone, and they are bringing you to a place that you are not comfortable with, because it's provoking you. It's like you are entering into an unfamiliar ground. And this is what the problem the average black person has, is because they don't know how to relate to an unfamiliar ground. They just want to be on a familiar ground. If the ground is unfamiliar, it irritates them, because they are afraid of what it might offer. It is that fear that makes them to reject that ground that is not familiar. That fear. It doesn't allow them to accept the fact that there are certain things that you ought to deal with. Whether you like it or not, you must deal with these issues. So most of us who are already in the spirit realm have seen the end from where we are. And we are telling you that there is nothing wrong in you coming into the truth, because the truth is what will actually set you free. When I say things, I take people to certain areas. When Mandela was about to be released, many of us celebrated. When he was released and he was made president, some of us celebrated. But today now the story have changed. Well, why did the story change? Because we have seen that somehow along the line, this man compromised. The system bended him. And today now, the South African people are suffering from that. So how long should we keep making the same mistake? How long should we keep making the same mistake? How long? How long? When are we going to reason like a people and understand that whatever is being offered to you by these same people has nothing good to offer you? It might sound good now, but in years, even in fact, in 5-6 years to come, you will see the implications of it. Because in my place, that's what we call wetisi by werisi. It's like you going to a spiritualist that you want to kill somebody. So, okay, before I go kill that man, go bring me a human head. So you have to kill somebody for him to help you kill another person. It makes no sense. So, so what is the need? And this is what is being offered to you. This is what they want to do for you. You will pay the price. You will surely pay the price. There's no free meal at any dinner table. Don't be fooled. There is no free meal at any dinner table. Every meal comes with its own price. And the more if the table is gold, the price is high. If it is a diamond table, the price gets higher. Don't be fooled. There's no free meal anywhere. And that is something we should understand and we should put in our head. I don't want to drag us into so many things. But the issue is that if we don't speak now, we will regret it later. If we don't act now, we will regret it later. And that is what we are avoiding. Because it might be that the generation that will fight, because we see that most of our children are going deep into the ways of these people. And that means that if imagine the kind of problem we are having now, trying to convince some of you, then imagine the kind of problem that our children will have, because by then, many of themselves will not even want to hear what somebody like us are saying. And that is why we need to fight this fight now. And that is why our spirit is waking us up, so that we will stand and fight. There is no better time than now. There is no better season to fight this fight than now. It is a fight that must be fought now. And it is a fight of the mind. It is a battle of the mind. It is a battle of the mind. It is something that has to do with the mind. We have to stand up and reject what is destroying us. We have to demolish that which is built to destroy us. everything that has been programmed against our progress as a people, against our uprising as a people, against our awakening as a people. We must fight against it. 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 It is your duty, whether you like it or not. It does not matter how brainwashed you are. It is your duty to rise up and reject that which is a problem and a destructive element against your heritage. If the indigenous people in America are rising up to claim their heritage, why should you, an African, be thinking of coming from somewhere that is outside the African continent? Is that not madness? Everybody wants to be indigenous. You now want to be a stranger in your own land. It's not a fool that can really say that. It's very wrong. Very, very wrong. It doesn't show wisdom at all. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't show wisdom. All of a sudden, it's like you now saying to people that you believe that your father is not your father, he adopted you. When he is actually your biological father, your father will be disappointed in you. Your siblings will be disappointed in you. Why should you say that? That you believe that you were adopted. You now lay claim to another man that lives opposite your house. Maybe because he has a car and he has a house, and your father have none. You say that the man is your father. That he gave you to this man for this man to take care of you. The man that is supposed to be your father, you call him this man. Then the person that is not your father, that has no blood link with you, becomes your father. Is that not madness? Is that not madness? That is the worst thing you can do in life. To reject your root. To deny yourself of who you are or where you come from. That is the worst thing you can do. But this is what we are doing. Even without knowing it, this is exactly what we are doing. And when you talk, people will start saying some certain things you don't understand. The issue is that if you hate who you are, fine and good. Make it personal. Don't get other people involved. Make it personal. You are entitled to your individual opinion. Let it be you that hates who you are, and you want to be something else. The other day I was watching a video of a girl that was this girl. I'm telling you, my skin is more lighter than her own. She is saying that she hates black people. She doesn't want to have anything to do with black people, and she believes that she's a white girl. You know, fine. I saw it as madness, but that is her opinion. Nobody made any comment. Nobody contributed in what she was saying because that is her opinion. That is what she wants to be. But it gets offensive when she starts generalizing it. If she's saying that her family, let me now use her family now. Her mother will get angry with her because her mother herself is not even is not even in agreement with what she's saying already. So, and her mother wouldn't want her to include her as being a white woman because she's proud to be a black woman. I saw it in her face because I was watching the video. So the issue is that if you want to be white, fine. I have nothing against it. After all, I live with white people. So I mean, I respect them for who they are and what they are. But I don't have to change my identity to blend with them. They understand me as a black man. They understand me as an African. They appreciate me as an African. And I want to keep it that way because that is who I am. And I love them as they are white, as Europeans. And I want to keep it that way. I'm not asking them to deny their identity. Neither do they have the right to ask me to deny mine. If I can appreciate them for being who they are, they should also appreciate me for being who I am. It's as simple as that. There is no two ways about it. You don't even discuss it. You don't even talk about it. It's as simple as that. If I can appreciate you for being a Chinese, you should also appreciate me for being an African. It's simple. Because when you don't, then that means you are the one that is being racist. Because I cannot change myself because I want to be with you or because I want to be your friend. I am who I am. I wouldn't say, fortunately for me, I was born like this. And I'm proud of the way I am born. The image I carry, I'm proud of it. It's something I wear with all pride. So let us stop this madness. Let us stop this madness and understand that we cannot be more than who we are. It does not matter what we do, where we live, or even what we do to our skin. If we are Africans, we are Africans. Haven't you seen that no matter how a woman bleaches her skin, if she gets pregnant, if she is dark, she will deliver a dark baby. Because what you are is in your blood. It has nothing to do with whether you shave the skin off. You will still deliver a dark baby. Because that is the truth. The truth is hidden in your blood. And that is something you can, it's something you can never run away from. It doesn't matter your opinion about it. You can never run away from the truth. That is the gospel truth. You cannot and will not run away from it. The earlier you embrace it and begin to celebrate it, the better for you. It's as simple as that. So let us understand that fact. My anger is that many of us will be celebrating All Saints Day, according to quote and unquote, according to the Roman calendar. But before you go and join that celebration, I want you to ask yourself one question. What is All Saints Day? Who are these saints that we are celebrating? That is what you ask yourself. Then by the time you go through the names of the saints that you know, if there is anybody that bears your name or bears a name that looks like somebody that is from your own clan, then celebrate with them. But if there is none, then going to celebrate with them shows that you still don't get it. You still have a problem understanding the truth. That is just the plain truth. So if you really appreciate the truth and if you really understand the truth, you should be able to ask yourself those questions. Who are these saints? Who are these saints? How many of you have taken time to do certain investigation over certain issues? How many among you have actually taken time to investigate certain things? Especially things that you indulge in, that you participate fully in. How many of you have actually taken time to celebrate, to indulge yourself in such things? Because at times, what you don't know is actually what really brings destruction and damage to your life. So ignorant is not an excuse when it comes to spiritual prizes. It is out of ignorance that many people have died. So until you yourself as a person begin to appreciate the informations that have been left for you by your ancestors, what they themselves has put down for you to decode, until you begin to appreciate them and begin to celebrate them, you will still be wandering around the circle. And that is something that we don't need to deal with. That is something that we don't need to overlook. Because the problem is that we are rejecting certain informations that would have liberated us long ago. Information that would have set us free long ago. We are rejecting them. We are pushing them off. Because we are afraid of what it will actually give. We fear, we have fear, we are afraid of what it will actually give. And we don't want to dabble into that issue. You understand? We are afraid of them. And that is something that has really, really, really pushed me today to really talk about all this, to talk about this all sense. So we have to understand, my brother, my sisters, you are dragging nothing. Let me tell you something. If you are called by Ajala to stand up for the truth and you refuse to stand up for the truth because you've compromised, Ajala will raise somebody else that will stand for that truth, whether you like it or not. Ajala is ready to raise somebody else that will stand for that truth. So that you didn't do it does not mean that somebody else will not do it. And when people start doing what you don't have the guts to do, you don't start insulting them. You don't insult them. Because when you do, you are not only offending the person you are insulting, you are offending the gods of our land. Because that is why they raised us. They raised us so that we can also speak for them the way Europeans are speaking for their own gods. And when you are insulting a man that is speaking the minds and the words of the gods, you are insulting the gods. I've been saying this to many of you, and you people think it's a joke. Why I'm saying so is that there is going to be a wind that will blow. Today is Nkwo, Ikuku. Now, let me talk about this wind. I decided not to talk about it. But many people that are in the spirit will tell you what I'm saying. Very soon, a wind is going to blow across the whole coast of Africa. A very powerful wind. It's going to sweep away everything that offends the land of Africa. Everything that offends the land of Africa, that wind is going to sweep through Africa. And we are estimating that the world will be at shock the day it will happen. That wind is going to blow across Africa. It's not human hand, man hand will not be in it. It will all be the gods and the gods alone that will do their work. And don't let yourself be found wanting, because if you do, the wind will carry you. So the best thing you can do for yourself now is to align yourself and be at peace with the land. Coming here to insult somebody will not generate anything for you. Coming here to tell somebody you hate the person because the person is saying the truth will not generate anything good for you. Because that wind will surely blow, and it will blow very soon. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it will blow very soon. I don't make noise when I say something. This is something I have refused to say all this while, but I have discussed it with people who are spiritually high, and many of them have also, they are aware of it. They've received the sign, and some of them have received the message that if this wind will blow across Africa, and the best thing you can do for yourself is to align yourself with your ancestors and encourage your people, your own people. Encourage them to align themselves, because when the wind will come, anything that is found wanting, don't worry. We are still alive. And like I said, is not going to be far from when it's going to happen. That wind is going to blow across, because the ancestors have risen. The gods of the land of Africa, they have risen. Watch what they will do. Nobody will be untouchable. It does not matter whether you be at the most secured house, because it is not the hand of man that will do it. It is not the hand of man that will do it. The wind is going to blow very soon. So some of you that wants to be celebrating stupidness because you want to make noise in social media, you are committing yourself, you don't know. And I'm not ready to stain my hand with any foolish blood or anybody's blood. But like I told you, I have to warn you. Be careful of what you say. You may insult me as a person, no problem. I have no problem with that. Insult is meant for human beings. But don't say something that will offend the land of Africa, especially where you come from. If you're an Igbo man, don't say something that will offend Alibo, because the wind will blow. And it could be what you just said against the Igbo land, against Aja Alibo. That may be what will implicate you. Don't blame any man or any woman for implicating yourself. Ask what I need you to do. Because the time is coming, and it's the time is near. It's just here. That is why you have to be careful what you say. You might say one stupid thing and get the praise that you want from people. But are the gods happy with you? A king has died because he presented a wrong heir to the throne. A woman have died because she slept with another man and not her husband. A man died because he ate the food that was cooked by his woman after sleeping with another man. A man died because he went to swear on a land that was not their own, but the father lied to him that it's their land. When you are dealing with the gods, you have to be careful. When you are dealing with the gods, you have to be careful. Many of you will open your mouth and say one stupid thing or write one nonsense you want to write because you want people to applaud you or people to say, this guy is bold. Don't commit yourself. It doesn't make any sense. Don't waste your life for nonsense. If you don't like what a man or a woman is saying in his program, you create your own platform and say whatever you want to say. But like I told you, be watchful of what you say. Be watchful of what you say. A wind is going to blow, except you will never reach that continent, Africa. Because the day your leg touch that place, that same wind will affect you. The wind is going to blow across that continent. Everyone that is found wanting will be asked to answer questions. And it's not many that will live to tell the story, because we've seen it coming. That is why most of us don't want to stain our hand with anything. I don't care who you are, who gets offended. I stand here, I say the truth. If you don't like it, that is your problem. Because I'm also after my head. My life is more precious than anything you offer me. And so when I come here, I tell you what I know, what I have received in the spirit, and what I understand. That is what I will tell you. If you don't like it, fine. It's not by force. But you watch what you say. That is why I will not tolerate anybody coming to my platform to provoke me, so that I will not say things I'm not supposed to say. And like I promised that young man, I'm going to delete him. So you should understand that what you are saying now, the winds are listening. Today is the day of the wind. It's in Kwo. The same day of Ikuku. That is why I'm trying to tell you people, the wind is going to blow. It doesn't matter what we do. There are 4 elements that hold this earth: the sun, the earth itself, water, the water, the waters, whether it is the one in the sky or the one that is on the ground, and the wind. And the funny thing is that everything they do, whether it is the land that does it, or the sun that does it, or the water that does it, it is the wind that carry their message. And that's what makes the wind powerful. And that wind is going to blow. That is what I'm saying to you. The wind will blow. Whether you like it or not, it's going to blow. It doesn't matter where you hide. It's going to blow. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that a nuclear bomb is dangerous? It's something that enters into the wind. It goes like radiation. That is why it penetrates to almost everywhere and destroys almost everything. And when it is shot, in fact, at times, it will stop every electronic gadget. The wind is going, that wind will blow across Africa. So if you know, go home, sit your people down and educate them on what is about to come. There is something coming. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy. When it will happen, people will not understand it at the first place. But when they count those that are missing in action, they will now know that it is not man-made. It is not ordinary. Because Africa will rise, whether we like it or not. Everything that has stopped Africa from rising, everything that has been a hindrance, whether it is enemy within or enemy outside, will be uprooted. So it is up to us to protect those that we feel we love. The only way you can protect them is to tell them the truth. Because if not, that wind will come and the wind will blow them away. I'm not saying it, I'm not hiding and saying it. I'm telling you what will happen. I'm not a prophet, I'm not prophesying. But I'm telling you something that has already obtained in the spirit and is going to manifest physically. So you are giving information so that you prepare yourself. Go and make peace with the land. Make peace with the land. Many of you are polluted. Many of you are polluted. You've contaminated yourself with the ways of the stranger. You've contaminated yourself with the ways of the stranger. And many of you are deep in it. Go and make peace with the land. Because if it is the wind, that wind will come, that wind will blow. And it is very, very close. It is very, very close. It will be my desire that all of us will be around to tell the story. But I know that there are stubborn ones among us, so it's not everybody that will be around to tell the story. I'm not wishing anybody evil, but I'm asking you people to prepare yourself. Go and educate your people. Let them come back to the ways of their ancestors, because that is where life is. When they talk about the Savior, they are telling you it is your spirituality that will deliver you. The wind will blow. That wind is going to blow. And it will be heavy, because no stone will be left unturned. There is no place to hide. No place to run to, no place to hide. There is no hiding place. Because you cannot hide from the invisible. There is no hiding place. except where you will hide to, that you will not be breathing, because it is the same wind that you breathe, and that wind will blow across the continent of Africa. So I am here now as a messenger to tell you to prepare yourself. Just like they normally tell them in Christendom, repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is to prepare yourself, for the wind will blow. Go and make peace with the land. Desist from anything that is against the land, against the gods of the land. If you have spoken any evil with your dirty mouth, go and make peace with the gods. Beg them to forgive you that you do not know what you are saying. That you are being childish. And that was why you said those stupid things you said. Go and make peace with the gods of the land. You may not, excuse my language, you may not like what I'm saying, but that is the only way I can talk to you. I am the voice that speaks from the table of the oracles. And I want you to understand that there is something that is going to happen. A very strange something is going to happen that has never happened before. They told you about the flood, the days of the flood. They talked about the days of the bank. Now I'm telling you that there's a wind that will blow across Africa. A very strong wind. Go and make peace with the land of Africa, especially the land where you come from. Go and make peace with the gods. Make peace with them so that you will not be found wanting. So that you will not be found wanting. Go and make peace with them. That is the only thing I can tell you for now. So like I said before, let us understand that this celebration is not for us. We do not celebrate other people's dead ones when we have not given our own dead the same honor that we are giving to the dead of the stranger. We are children of the sun. We should value what is ours. We should also uphold our ancestors. We should lift them up because they are the ones that it is because of them that we are here today. It is because of them that we are here today. And if we don't understand it, that means we don't understand anything. And like I have said, if we understand most of these celebrations, these things that we tag ourselves and we get ourselves involved in, then you will see that it will be easy for us to disengage ourselves from them. It will be easy for us to disengage ourselves from them. But the problem is that we do not understand these things. And because we do not understand them, we see ourselves soaked in it, celebrating it more than we are supposed to celebrate it. And that is why somebody will come up and wake up and tell you that you are from where you are not from. So let us be reasonable enough to really accept who we are and settle for who we are. Let us be reasonable enough to really actually settle for who we are. I don't see anything wrong with we saying that we are who we are. If we are going to make friends, our friends will even appreciate us for admitting who we are. If we are going to make enemies, the enemies will still come whether you deny yourself or not. So we need to be who we are. We need to appreciate ourselves. We need to recognize the fact that it is in who we are that we are being celebrated, that others will also be an opportunity to celebrate us. So for those of you who are eager to celebrate this All Saints Day, I will tell you to desist from it. I will ask you to go back home. Go and accord your ancestors that respect. Reunite yourself with your ancestors. Get in touch with your chi. These are the the people that are in the spirit world that you should be celebrating. Ndi Chegi, your chi. These are the ones that you should be celebrating, not sent. Sent who? That language does not belong to us. That name is not in our language. So it's not in our language. Let us celebrate ourselves. By celebrating our ancestors. I know that what I'm saying today may really not go down with a lot of you. But you know, one thing I like about myself is that in as much as I may not like what I'm saying, it may not also go down with me. I said them anyhow. And at the end of the day, with time, a lot of you will appreciate it. With time, a lot of you will begin to appreciate it because you will now see that the seed has bear forth a good fruit in your life. Because the first time I was confronted with the truth like this, I wasn't happy about the speaker. It did not go down with me. But I realized that where I am today is because of that particular speech I took time to listen to. It opened my eyes, even though I did not take that step that day. But gradually, I began to move towards the truth. And finally, I landed myself inside the truth and I'm soaked in the truth and I'm happy to celebrate the truth. And that is what I'm telling you today. You don't celebrate another than celebrating yourself and celebrating your own ancestors. So let us get it right and let us understand it from that perspective. That today is not, it has nothing, this day, today, what they are doing today has nothing to do with us. And will never have. If you are looking for things to celebrate, I will give you the things that we celebrate. But unfortunately, maybe for most of you that are not Igbo, what I'm going to give you is the Igbo celebrations. But I believe that in your place where you come from, as long as you're an African, there must be days that you people celebrate. There must be something that you celebrate in your place. Devote your time and celebrate that. We have festivals we do. In fact, at the Igbo land, generally we celebrate certain things. I think we celebrate almost every Igbo 3 months. That you will always find one interesting celebration or the other. So why should we waste our time celebrating with the Europeans when they don't? Have you ever seen? It doesn't matter how they pretend. Have you ever seen an Arab celebrating Christmas? Except those ones that brain has been washed. Have you ever seen an European celebrating? They may give even some countries don't do it. Some of them do. They give Muslims in their country that day to celebrate, but they don't celebrate with them. They don't shut their businesses and these things because Muslims are celebrating. It's only in Africa that if Christians are celebrating, we will close down. Muslims are celebrating, we will close down. But if we are doing traditional things, nobody shut down, nobody closes down. So you see where we are. If we are doing our own African thing, there is no holiday. The only holiday we know is the Christian holidays. The only holiday we know is the Muslim holidays. So that's why when we keep shouting about these things, how then do you want your ancestors to see that you are insulting them? How do you think they will feel? That when it comes to the days that you are supposed to receive their blessings, spend time with them, there is no holiday. But the day you are celebrating one nonsense or the other, the holiday will be given. So these are the part of the things that we're talking about. So we did not just start saying things because you yourself, you are a witness to it. Many of you in Africa will know that Africans, almost all the African countries, so to say, celebrate Christmas. Almost all of them celebrate Eid al-Kadif or whatever they call it. Almost all of them celebrate Easter. Almost all of them celebrate Salah. But tell me any country in Africa that when they are doing traditional festivals, like say, for example, now, let's use Nigeria, for instance. When the Igbos are doing their New Year festival, how many holidays do the government give? None. So why are we deceiving ourselves? You see, the thing is that everything about us shows that we celebrate these people more than we celebrate ourselves, and yet we still clamor for respect. We still say they are not. How can they respect you when they know that you are celebrating them? Have you seen where a star bows to a fan? It is fans that are excited to see their star. They even want to take photo with the star. So whether we like it or not, these things are the way they are. So once again, I would like each and every one of us to really give what we're doing a thought and never dive into something that we have not really thought it through. So I don't know where you are. I don't know what you are fighting against. But if there is any just fight that we need to fight at this particular time, it is that fight to keep the spirit alive. It is that fight to uplift the image of our ancestors. It is that fight to maintain the African spirituality. It is that fight for us to be all that we are created to be. That fight that will define us and define us as a people. It is that spiritual fight that will elevate us. That spiritual fight that will reposition us and put us in the head of affairs. That spiritual fight that will allow us to take control of things that has been, stolen from us. That spiritual fight that will help us to recover, to discover all, and to recover all. That spiritual fight that will put us in that place of glory. That is what we need. What we need to be fighting. It may not sound well. It may not look good to you, but that is the fight that we ought to be fighting. That is the fight that we ought to be fighting. That is what we have lost as a people. So I will encourage us to rise up. Get up from where you are. Dust your body. It doesn't matter. You may fall 20 times, but your ability to rise up 20 times is what makes you a hero. It's what makes you a man. It's what makes you an African. Because Africans are known to be strong. Africans are known to be brave. Africans are known to be intelligent. Forget about what we are living. The life we are living now is because our mind has been conditioned to think like that. But I want us to remove that thought from our mind, to get ourselves out of the box and begin to think like Africans that we are. We are the sons of lion. So let us not allow people that have reduced us to nothing. Let us not allow them to keep laughing at us. Let us bring ourselves from this object of mockery and begin to showcase who we really are. That is what I'm saying. So there is no need you yourself celebrating what is mocking you. Like this day, this all sense celebration is a mockery to you. It is a mockery to you. It's a mockery to your ancestors, because these same people that are celebrating their own ancestors taught you and told you to hate your own ancestors, to bind and to cast your own ancestors, to reject them, that they are evil, but they are celebrating their own, even with all the atrocities their own have committed. So why should we celebrate their own with them? Why should we celebrate wicked ancestors? People that have done so much damage, people that went throughout all the continent and enslaved people, killed people, scattered people, massacred people. Why are we celebrating them today? And our ancestors who were peaceful before they were invaded, nobody celebrates them. Nobody remembers them. So let us stand against this. I am sorry if my language is a little offensive, but the thing is that there is no better way I could have put it. But I pray and hope that you will understand what I'm saying and you will give it a thought. That most of these things are not for you. When I spoke against the Ember Month, I was specific about it. And I explained to people why they should not get themselves in the Roman calendar. And I'm happy that many people really responded. And today they can gladly say, because they responded. Some of them who used to complain about certain things, they told me, I had so many people testifying that immediately they saw reasons with what I said, and they exempted themselves. They exempted themselves with from what was being said, and then they removed themselves from that calendar. That was exactly when they themselves began to see some progress in their lives. So once again, I am going to thank you all for being part of this program. We've spent a long time, and I would like to call it a day. I hope, hopefully, again, each time we are moved, because we are here to inform one another, we are here to inspire one another. Each time that the energy or the inspiration comes, we will get down and we'll start talking about these things. I hope and pray that our ancestors will guide and protect each and every one of us. Like I said, I want you to know, if you forget anything, don't forget this. We are Africans, and we should be proud of who we are. That is all I have to say today. Thank you, brothers. Good morning. Thank you once again. Thank you.